All right, so a movie called My Animal dropped, and this was in theaters last week, limited, so we didn't get to see it, and then it dropped on VOD for us, and we did get to watch it. So let's talk about it. This is about a girl in a small town who's dealing with an affliction. She's a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty obvious from the first like 2 minutes in. I mean, I think we get like an opening shot of the moon and
Yeah.
her like basically not changing, but it's very obvious, very very quickly. Trust me, there's no spoiler there. This is essentially a coming of age, um, like queer tale of a girl who has an affinity for another girl, and she's trying to see if it's reciprocal while dealing with her, affliction.
Yeah.
And it has this like dreary, small town, cold winter weather feel to it the whole time.
Yes.
And it's very stylistic, and it has a heavy emphasis on lighting, a lot of red,
Yeah, there's a lot of red lighting.
But it's primarily drama and romance.
Yes.
With a little bit of horror in it.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I was really into this movie. I mean, I think that the horror is definitely light. But
reprimand the dog.
I was really into it. I think like the atmosphere and the vibe was just like we were talking about how it's like time ambiguous.
Oh yeah, like time period follows. Ambiguous.
And I'm a big fan of that. I think it works really well with this because like it looks like it could be like in the 80s, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be now. Could be the 80s.
Like there's no. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell, but I liked that part of it, and I just thought it was like really heartfelt and very angsty at times, but in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved the performance from like the two main actors, that we have, the two main actresses. I thought that they had like really great chemistry, and I liked seeing them play off of each other. And it's like pretty tragic in the end, yeah. Obviously. Like it doesn't have a happy ending, I would say, but it does have kind of like a I don't know, a cathartic ending, I guess.
For me, the ending was the big disappointment of the movie because I felt like there wasn't a payoff that I would have liked. But I also will say that this film is very feminine, and I find that ending to be fitting for this film.
Yeah.
I think the ending I would want would be the more masculine, punchy, rip things apart kind of ending. And this is a much more like erotic and sensual, and like it's this exploration of a young girl's romance. And I don't know, like it's a super slow burn. It's all about mood and energy, and that kind of in the music is a huge emphasis as well.
Yeah.
It's very sexy at times. It's very bleak and tragic. It's a downer of a movie. Almost reminded me of like either Bones and All,
yeah,
or Winter's Bone. I guess anything with bone in the title, but Winter's Bone. It because of the town setting, like the small town, everyone knows each other. You've also got this very mid. Well, I think this is like in Canada, I think.
Yeah.
But it has like her family is very rednecky.
Yeah, like the Midwestern.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way that they dress and the way that they act.
Yeah.
And the performances are all super good from everybody. But I do think this will be a big hit with a younger female
Queer
gay, queer,
audience,
audience. I think this is going to be a big win for that.
I do too.
And I liked the movie. I think that I'm not the target audience for sure, but I still very much bought into the relationships, and I was invested. I'll say that. I was very invested in the story. I liked the main character, and I was rooting for her, and I was rooting for the relationship, and I was very much like getting upset when I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Right. So like they definitely had me engaged. It's just, I do want that catharsis in a more masculine.
You want it in a more like visceral way.
Correct.
Because it does happen, and there is like a payback that happens at the end, so to speak. But it's just there's not as much on screen like violence. So it's not that kind of a film, but I think it's a really effective ending for the tone and like the overall like aesthetic of the film already.
I also want to point out too, for any like werewolf fans, you're not going to get like any werewolf stuff really.
No, I mean the werewolf like it's
very mild.
It's definitely like a werewolf film, but it is kind of using like the werewolf as a symbol for like queerness in some ways. Which is, again, it's really effective and it's really beautifully done, I think, in this. But yeah, it's a different kind of werewolf film than what maybe some werewolf fans are wanting.
Sure. So I definitely think if you're the audience for this film.
Yeah.
If this sounds like something that's going to offend you or it's going to upset, like bore you or whatever, then don't watch it. But if you're someone who's into these kinds of movies, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
So it's for a very specific audience.
It is.
But I'm super open. So I enjoyed it. I just would have liked the ending to be more visceral, as you said, but that's not this kind of movie, so it wouldn't have fit the tone. It's just my own desires, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah. If you're into these kind of movies. Mm-hmm. So check it out if you want. All right, guys.